So we were open for 2 weeks, and then on the 2nd of September we were ordered to close by the Monash Council because of some permit issues. So essentially what happened is, and I'll get as specific as I can without giving too much information that may or may not be relevant to the public. But from the beginning we aimed to do everything by the book. Applied for the permits a week after the lease for this place was finalised, so around April, May. And in the final stage of the permit, or in the permit approval process, there was essentially a miscalculation on my part and a misunderstanding as to when we could officially open. We opened too early, and some of the neighbouring businesses had an issue with that. So they called the council to shut us down. And since then, we've been doing everything possible to meet the requirements and absolve the concerns of both the council and the people that objected. But despite doing all this, and despite it being almost 5 weeks of closing now, we still don't have an exact date for the resolution of this. It's still relatively unclear about whether they're looking at the change of use of this premises favourably or whether they want to completely reject it. As you can imagine, it's been a challenging period for everyone that's involved at Honour. Not only myself, but the staff, the students, the fighters, people that feel like this is a second home to them. For lack of a better term, there are a lot of people that are metaphorically homeless in the sense of not having a space or community that they can come to and, not only learn Muay Thai, but see their friends in a shared environment where there's positivity, camaraderie. Some of the students at Honour who would come here because it's one of the only ways they're able to deal with some heavy issues like depression and anxiety. There's already been a few people that have come to me saying that they feel like they're in a very dark place. And speaking for myself, I'm drained. I'm so drained. But I have no choice but to do everything I can to make sure that this gym reopens. There's no choice. I've put everything into this, not only this year, but, I've probably made so many mistakes that have led up to this point that we're in, and I only have myself to blame. But this is the situation we're in, and regardless of whether I feel depleted or defeated, we just have to keep going. So, in the meantime, I've been just going back to doing private sessions, small group sessions, driving to different locations. A lot of the other coaches are doing the same, doing what we can to keep the people upon our training, and to keep the business afloat, letting some, generating some income for the business. But besides that, it's just a waiting game. And I'm optimistic, but I'm also tired of being let down. So I'm mentally preparing for all outcomes. But I'm going to do everything I can to make sure it's a good outcome.